What's up, guys? Today, I want to talk to you about some basic bottom line project management techniques. And I want to kind of piggyback on a previous session or episode that I did regarding the micro and macro planning within your business. So just to take a quick step back, earlier we talked about how macro planning is kind of that overarching plan, that high level plan. And then micro planning is where you're taking that and you're breaking it down into smaller segments. And all of that is feeding into your overall strategic goals and the things that you have developed, you've identified for your business or your home or your personal life. Okay. So today, what I want to do is really focus in on the micro planning, really talk about what that truly is, right? Because some of us are overcomplicating this, and I don't want to overwhelm you or make this seem harder than it has to be. Okay. So I mentioned before that in project management, this is what is also known as kind of a work breakdown structure. And it's a way of breaking down that bigger overarching thing into small workable parts. Okay. And so I like to call the workable parts as work packets. There are little work packets that accomplish something and that something is helping you get closer and closer to the overarching goal. Okay. Or the overarching thing that needs to be achieved, your deliverable, the thing that you are producing. So when you think about the things that you are doing in your day-to-day existence within, and I'm going to focus on business, this can be transferable to home and personal life. Okay. But I really want to focus on the business side of you today. So when you are focusing in on trying to achieve things in your business, you need to kind of consider them more like little Legos. Okay. I'm trying to be visual here. I'm trying to give you that visual that you need to help put this all together. So when you get a Lego box, and no, I'm not sponsored by Lego, disclaimer there. But when you get that Lego kit, right, you get the box and it has a picture of what your deliverable is, what it is that you are trying to achieve. And let's say it's one of those kits that has like a slide in one half and the other half has like the house with the people and all of that. Okay. So you've got this kit, and imagine that all those different segments are the things that you want to achieve. Well, when you set out to achieve that, you can't just do it all at one time, right? You really want to segment it out and say, okay, today I'm going to focus on building the house, right? And I'm going to just focus on doing that. And what do I need to do that? Well, there's stepping stones. There's things that you have to do first before you do the next piece, right? And the house is fully made up of your Legos, of the pieces that come together that make the house. You've got the windows, you've got the foundation, you've got the wall. And if you've ever put together a Lego kit, you know that within the instruction book, that's exactly how it does it. It says, okay, right now we're going to build the wall. We're going to build the left wall. And next we're going to build the right wall. And then we're going to build the back wall and the front wall. And then we're going to put it all together on the foundation. So each of those pieces, each of those walls is a work packet. Okay, so trying to give you that visual, it is a work packet. So you took all the various Legos that were needed to build that wall, and you created that as a work packet. Okay, and you got that done, and then you went to the next one. So although the house isn't complete, you're moving closer and closer and closer to the finish line. So bringing this back to a real work, right? Equating this to your work life and the things that you have to do in your day-to-day responsibilities within your business, think about because we are in, it's financial month, we're getting into financial month. Let's equate this to your finances. So let's say that you are getting an email, right? You get a notification every month from your banking account, for example. When you get that email, what do you do with it? Does it just sit in your mailbox, your email box? Do you flag it? Do you go and download the statement? What are the steps that you take when you see that email. Okay. So the processes or the steps that you take are what equates to a work packet. So for example, you may be a person who flags it. My question to you is, what happens after you flag it? What is the next step? Do you flag it and it just sits in your mailbox and it was really a wasted effort? Or do you flag it to then come back at a later time? You know, we can take that a step further and say, why do you even flag it? Do you work out of your mailbox? Or is that a trigger for you to take action at a later time? So if it's to take action at a later time, the organizer in me says, okay, instead of flagging it to just randomly come up with a time when you quote unquote have time to deal with it, how about you put that on your calendar? How about you say, when the email comes in, I'm going to drag it over to my calendar, assuming your calendar has that functionality, and I'm going to create an appointment. And that appointment is going to be for 10 to 15 minutes, right? And that is setting aside specific time for me to go and take action on that email. What is that action, right? So the first part of that work packet is to say, when received, put it on the calendar, schedule it, right? So that is an action that has been taken. Well, the next step from getting it scheduled, what happens on the day that it was scheduled? Well, on the day that it was scheduled, I now go out, right? And I reconcile my bank account. Dana, how long does that take you? Like 5 minutes, if that. In most cases, it takes somewhere between a minute to 3 minutes because of the way that my accounting system is flowing now. It is seamless, right? I don't have to do a lot of extra, well, what is this? What is happening in this account? Because I'm keeping up with it on a month-to-month basis, it doesn't take as long, right? So a lot of us are, when we look at our accounting system, or non-system, we are looking at it as this huge monster that we have to conquer, right? I don't have time, it's too much, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, all of that is a major pit in your business structure or in your business mindset, okay? But if we really break it down into small workable parts, what is it that you really need to do to get to this point that I'm talking about? Because many of you all are not at the point where you can take 5 minutes to reconcile your accounts each month, right? Many of you all are at this point, because it hasn't ever been done, you are scared as to how long it's going to take you and what needs to happen. So that's one of those situations where we have the Lego house, right? Your accounting system is the Lego house, and you know you need to get to this final picture, this final deliverable. But creating or setting up your accounting system, there are small workable parts that get you to the final. Okay. One of those is to identify where all your money is coming in and going out, meaning where are your accounts? What accounts do you have? Do you have 5 different accounts that are bringing money in and out of your banking? You know, because really we're starting with a checking and a savings, assuming some of you all are, right? I'm making assumptions here, but I'm going to assume that you're starting with a checking and a business checking and savings account. So if that's your starting point, then we know that the next step is to say, okay, what is flowing in and out? What accounts are connected to these accounts? Is that by making a personal deposit? Do you go to the banking or you do the mobile deposit? Do you have things automatically coming out of your checking account? Do you use Stripe? Do you use PayPal? Do you use Square? What are you using? What are the payment processors that are pulling and, taking and putting into your account? Like that's a work packet. That's a step in itself, just identifying that. Right? We don't have to have all the answers, but that is one step that needs to be identified. The next step would be, okay, now that we've gotten those identified, now let's track what we're doing. What accounts, are the expenses and what accounts are the credits? What types of payments are coming into our account? Is it all the same? For me, we generally have coaching, right? One-on-one coaching payments. We have organized academy payments or coursework payments, right? Or we have speaking engagement payments. I have 3 types of payments that come in, or refunds, right? For some reason I get money back, right? So we're going to say 4 different ways that money is coming into my account. That is a work packet. That's just identifying those things. So I'm not going to go all the way through what the work packet is of setting up your accounting system. You can get that from Organized Academy. But what I am saying is that is taking a big thing, right, that you are freaking out about and putting off to the side and just ignoring, thinking it's going to go away. And it's breaking it down into small workable parts, so that by this time next year, you're not stressing out about your taxes. You're not stressing out about filing and figuring out what your profit and loss is for this grant, or for this situation that, where they've asked you for that information. You already have it, because why? You went through the small workable parts and you created your accounting system. And now when those monthly notices come in that, hey, your statement is ready, that is a trigger for you to, number one, set up your appointment to go in and reconcile your account. And so for 5 minutes each month, right, you are golden. You've got your accounting system set up. You don't have to worry about a lot. Now I'm oversimplifying this, right? Because it does take more than 5 minutes a month, but it really doesn't have to be an 5-hour process every week or anything like that, if you bake it into your day-to-day processes. And so when we take those small workable pieces, the bank statements coming in, the receipts that you get via email, right? What are you doing with them? What is your process? Developing that process and layering it on. Okay. So that piece, the receipts, right? That's the little person standing in front of the house. You have to build that little Lego person, right? And that's your receipt process. So you've built that receipt process and you've layered it on to the whole foundation of the house, so that they're standing in front of the house saying, hey, look at my little Lego house, right? So that is just a workable piece. That is just a small piece that you can do and layer on. So stop overwhelming yourself, right? Take a step back. You can do this. You've got me right here with you. Let's start creating the small workable parts, your work packets, and then layer your work packets on top of one another, connecting them up so that they help to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself in your business. See, it doesn't have to be hard, guys. It does not have to be hard. So although I use the accounting system, right, getting that set up as the example here, this can be applied to any and everything that you're doing in your business, life, or home, right? I'll take, just for the sake of it, a home experience. So let's talk about washing clothes, right? So many of you all, when you go to wash clothes every week, or whatever your frequency is, you're going throughout your house, and assuming you have kids, right? Let's just make that assumption here. You're going through your house, picking up clothes from all over the house so that you can go and wash a load, right? Instead, let's think about this. What is the hardest part about washing clothes? Is getting them all in there and getting them sorted so that you can put them in the wash. Well, how can we simplify that? What is something that we can do? We can create a system in which all the clothes are already in the laundry room. Well, what is that system? Let's think about it. How about we make a rule in the home that everybody brings their clothes to the laundry room? So what that did is, number one, it streamlined the process, because now whoever's washing the clothes, because hello, it does not have to be mama. Whoever's washing those clothes, they are in the laundry room. And literally you can say, today, I see there's a bunch of towels here. Let me wash towels. And so it's a process of turning on the washing machine, put it in the detergent, letting it swish. Cause everybody has their own little process, right? My process is to let it swish, put the clothes in, let them wash. And then either myself, my daughter, or my husband gets the clothes out of the washer once it's finished and puts them in the dryer. Yes, my 8-year-old can assist with that, right? So it's about figuring out, what are the parts that make up washing, right? What are the parts that you have to go through to wash your clothes? What are the parts that you have to do? What are the parts that others can contribute in and can, help with? and then make a plan from that. You don't have to just do it all. You don't have to wash all the clothes up in the house every single weekend by yourself. Like that's not necessary. Let's break it down into workable parts and figure out what needs to happen in each segment. Okay, so hopefully this all makes sense and you can see where you can kind of apply this work breakdown in home life, in business life, right? And then of course, like I said, in your personal life, it is the exact same thing. If you've got things that you want to achieve, you just take it and break it down. How can I, get walking in? Yeah, that's one of my pain points right now. What can I do to start walking more so that I in turn can lose weight? My overarching goal is to get healthy and lose weight. What can I do to help me achieve that? Well, what are the things that I need to figure out when I can go walking? How far can I go to meet my step requirement for the month or for the week or for the day or whatever the case is? And how do I break that down into small workable parts so I can get it into my day? Right. So can be applied to just about anything and everything that you are involved in. I definitely would love to hear what your things are. What are you breaking down? Let's talk about it. Join me over on social. I'm on Instagram mostly, but I am also on LinkedIn and Facebook. And so join me over there. Let me know what you are tackling, what you're working to break down. We can have a back and forth. Tell me what you've broken down and I'll respond and let you know, oh, well, you could also do this, or whatever the thing is. Let's talk about it on social. And I would love for you to become an Organized Academy member, become part of the Vault family, and we can really dig into it then. Okay, so until next time, I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this episode, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.